Marcie, thanks so much for joining me. Marcie Towle is here with me today. I'm Crispin Spaeth, and we're going to talk about how to talk to your kids and yourself about posture. I'm a movement, performance, and presence coach, and I help people find comfort and alignment in their bodies so that they can show up in their business and lives as they wish to. So that involves a bit of wellness, a bit of entrepreneurial public speaking kind of thing. The thing that really ties them together is a knowledge of yourself and how you speak to yourself. So, Marcy, I wanted to talk to you today because people show up in my studio or online for coaching with me, and I would say about 80% of them, not accurate math, but a lot of people have some idea about posture, how they hold themselves that we actually have to undo. They've been trying to do some impossible task for the last 30, 40 years. And that's usually a message that has come to them through their parents. So I wanted to see if I could, get ahead of the next 40 years of suffering for people and figure out how parents can talk to their kids about the thing people think of as posture in a way that's actually helpful and healthy for everyone involved. And since you're the talking to kids expert, I called on you. So will you tell us what you do and who you do it for, and then we'll just dive in.
Yeah, thank you, Crispin. I am a parent coach and predominantly working with parents of teenagers and young adults. And really, the work that we do together is focused on a couple of areas. First of all, the goal really is to build relationship between the parents and the kids, which is so important. And, I have been saying that I help parents when their kids are having some kind of struggle, like maybe they're not going to school or they don't get a job. Um, Maybe they're just really struggling to find their way in the world. But I'm starting to think of this a little bit differently right now with the encroachment of AI. Social media has been with us for a long time, but we're starting to get a lot of data coming out now about the detrimental mental health effects for
Mhm.
kids of spending so much time in a virtual world and not face to face with other people. And so parents have a lot of power in that. If they can build the relationship with their kids so that they're a trusted, safe source, someone that their kid feels safe to talk to. So that's really the crux of what it is that I'm doing. And we also focus on in our work the concept of the the child's inner wealth, which inner wealth is a word that kind of means self-esteem, but it's so much more. It's
Mhm.
the knowing of your intrinsic value and what you bring to the world and what who you are, and
Mhm.
how you can show up confidently in the world as who you are. So I feel
Yeah.
that our work here overlaps, and the other overlap that I'm hearing is that your clients come to you with notions that they got probably from their parents or maybe their gym teacher or somebody in their youth that aren't
Mhm.
really serving them. And I'm finding that a lot with the parents that I work with as well. It can be really challenging sometimes for a parent to acknowledge their own inner wealth, their own good qualities, and to quiet the voice that's scolding them for what they're doing wrong or not as well as they think they should. So there's a lot of overlap, I think, in our work there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would guess and tell me if I'm wrong that the way someone approaches parenting, like in my world, I call it biopsychosocial wholeness, including your history, right? We carry this forward. And
Yes.
you can't erase what your parents said to you or even the way that you've been responding to that or internalized embodiment, however you want to call that in your own life, but finding a moment to make a choice and having tools to find that moment. And I think that's like that moment of choice around oh, what am I going to say right now? Or what am I going to do right now?
Yes.
It's like, it's super duper. Like, that's the moment that we work in, that moment of potential
Yes.
change. Does that feel right?
So
Yeah.
that just really sparked for me. And if this is not where you want to go with this, you can
Go
just
for it. Go for
shut
it.
me down. But um, we have this concept. We compare a person's inner wealth to an artist's portfolio. And
Hmm.
because, an artist has this idea of what pieces represent them best, and that's what they want to put in their portfolio. We have that same notion about ourselves, and guess what? It's formulated around where people show up for you.
Hmm.
So if you're the person who gets a lot of energy and scolding from the teachers or the parents about your misbehavior in class and maybe the laughing from the other students, well, my portfolio says I'm the class clown.
Right. That's where
Um,
people showed up. That's where I
yes,
got juice from other people.
yeah, exactly. And the thing that we say about
Oh,
portfolio,
oh, that touches my heart so deeply.
oh,
Yeah.
I love that it does.
Mhm.
So piggybacking on what you said, no, you're never going to take away the stuff out of your portfolio, the way that you responded to how you were parented and who you've been up to this point. But what we want to do is build a more energetically aligned portfolio by
Mhm.
choosing to energize the moments where we're successful or where our kid is successful. And that's how we begin to build this portfolio of our value.
Cool. Yeah. So that leads me to a question I had, which is again another place where I think we have what would this be called? Unity, symmetry,
Synergy, maybe?
synergy. That's the word. Actual synergy. Um, in the in addition to that moment of choice where people can make a change, you can choose to change when you realize that you have that choice. I also am often working with people on using really constructive language in that moment.
Mhm.
If people are thinking, don't do something, there's some interference in their system. And that's what I'm just like trying to get rid of the interference so that it's a clean message to ourselves. I just saw something about some research around how people, for instance, people with an injury, how they talk to their literal body, like to say, oh, if I had a cast on my arm, I were to say, oh, um, you better hurry up, or oh, you're wrong, I'm broken, it's not going to heal as well as if I say, oh, I love you, we're here together, I care for you. So, and that even that example adds a little bit of separation, but basically, to our in our very core,
Yeah.
if we hear constructive language, that
Yes.
is, it doesn't even have to be like super duper loving all the time. It's just a language without a no in it
Yes.
that we're able to move forward toward whatever that thing is more easily.
Yes. So the framework that I use is called the nurtured heart approach. And we focus a lot on the energy of where it is that we're showing up for our kids and also for ourselves. So nurtured heart speak around what you just said would be that I would not want to give a lot of my energy to ruminating on negative thoughts or stressing out about when is this thing going to heal. What I would want to do is I want to give a lot of positive energy to the things I was doing to help myself heal. Oh, I drank my bone broth today
Right.
and I'm taking such good care of this bone that's healing. Um, just the what do you want to put your energetic focus on? The problem or what's going well?
Let's translate that into parenting. So you as the parent would want to say what to your child who is, let's say, looking at their phone for what you think is too long.
Mm. Oh, now we're going to get into some like really dicey areas because
Oh, yeah.
do we have rules already? Like another thing that's really an important, the third stand of the nurtured heart is is the clear rules. But if they're being broken, I don't want to put a lot of emphasis or energy onto it being broken.
Hmm.
And devices, wait, I got to tell you, I'm still struggling with this. I'm struggling through it with my clients. What are our rules going to be around it? So many of us, in fact, many of my parents that I work with who have kids who are 15, 16, like that horse got out of the barn a long time ago because they didn't realize quite what was going to happen. And those devices are so, I want to use the word addictive, but I want to be careful about using that term. But let's just put it this
Productive.
way, it's seductive. That's exactly the term for it, because think about yourself and your device. And I don't know about you, but I have the experience often where I think, need to do a thing. I need to do that thing on my phone. I pick up my phone, I see something shiny on the phone, and I don't even remember why I came here. I know it wasn't to do this, but my
Right.
phone is designed to draw me in.
Right. Why am I standing in the middle of the living room right now? Looking at
Yeah,
my phone.
right.
When my husband's right there, I could be talking to him.
Yeah. So, in terms of what I would say to a parent about what they should say to their kid about that is, hey, let's have some honest conversations about what these devices are, what they're designed to do. Um, educate yourself as a parent and then educate your kid in as conversational and not preachy kind of way as you can. And also be willing to model the change and maybe even say that out loud, model what you're doing. I'm noticing that I'm spending a lot of time with my head down here and my neck's been hurting and I've been having some headaches. I'm realizing that's not good for me. And so I'm trying really hard to set certain times where I'm up and looking around the world. What do you think? Get
Hmm.
them thinking and talking. People generally believe things a lot easier if they say them themselves than if you tell
Right.
them.
Yep. Yep.
So if you can
Yep.
draw your kids into a conversation around that, even if in the moment they act like they're blowing you off or thinking you're pretty stupid, they're going to think
Right.
about
Right. So maybe this is a good moment for me to kind of describe two of the solutions from my side that I see around. One is related to phone use, and the other is related to specifically over, I don't know, it's certainly as long as I've been alive, which is 58 years. Posture is stand up straight. So those are two things that I just insert a little bit of
it. Yeah.
information here. So one of the things about phone use, right, is that people are curved way over like
Mhm.
this often. Neurologically speaking, one thing that can contribute to this is our mirror neurons. So
Mhm.
when you're saying a parent can model this, this is another great use of mirror neurons. We copy what we see.
Mhm.
So if I'm copying this thing, I'm going to get real small.
Mhm.
So to me, the idea of inner wealth is also letting yourself be your full size in all directions,
Mhm.
moving, breathing, living.
Mhm.
When we get down like this, we're actually compromising some of our functionality here at head spine. Specifically, my work is based in integrative Alexander technique. So I always start here like, okay, if I scrunch down here, my breathing is compromised, my thinking is compromised. I'm going to spend even more time looking at this because I am not being my full self. I don't have my choice, I don't have my intelligence, all those things kind of dim down
Mhm.
when we are our full self. So, one way for people to talk about phone use is actually, okay, if you're going to look at your phone, let's be up
Oh.
and your whole size, and maybe even walking so
Uh-huh.
that your whole body is still active while you're doing this very engaging thing. And then people might start to notice that they do this because there's a mirror neuron thing. There's also like, this is my main communication device. I'm going to dive into this tiny swimming pool
Yeah.
and see all my friends. So that's one idea. The second idea is the old-fashioned posture language around stand up straight or arm shoulders back, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of those things match our actual anatomy.
Right.
Our spine is curved, So stand up curved is great, but stand up straight forces people into unsustainable, unhealthy things. Or if they sustain it, it's through lots of muscle. Like I'm doing this, like it's taking, I don't know if you can hear me getting out of breath. My diaphragm's no longer working. So allowing those curves to exist so I can continue to breathe
Yeah.
is a key thing. And then that back and down thing, our arms really start here.
Mhm.
So forcing them back here all the time also starts to do weird things in here. So that's my little, 2 minute soapbox about how to really work with your own design doing these things.
So what would you say if you were giving just if you could just give one cue to a parent about what would be something that they could look for in their child that would be positive and constructive to say about the way they're moving or what their posture is, and maybe leave the devices aside from it because I think
Yeah,
this carries over into all of life, right? So what
right.
would something be that I could be looking for as a parent that I could encourage or energize?
Well, why don't I say I'm going to imagine a fictional teenager. Why don't I say a couple of things, and if it's not construct it, like maybe you can help me make it even more constructive, right? Because that's what we're talking about. It's like what's good language to use,
Yeah.
and I don't know, so that's why you're that's why you're here. So I might see somebody who's a teenager, let's say a 14-year-old who had a growth spurt and it's feeling you know that maybe they're feeling shy or they're kind of hiding out in their body,
Mhm, okay.
covering up or hunching over. Maybe they even got breasts and don't want anyone to see it, or maybe it's that tender age of, oh God, all that stuff that can happen.
Mhm,
Um, what I would want for them, so not how I'm going to tell them, what I would want for them is to know that getting small doesn't work, right? So if you don't want to be seen, you don't, there are, I'll just say it the way I'm going to say it and then we can work it out. You don't want to, your health and your mental health will be impacted by trying to use your anatomy to hide your anatomy,
mhm,
using your skeleton to make a little protective shell so
mhm,
that you're not seen. More resilient doesn't mean you have to show, right? You're more resilient if you can move anywhere, anytime. And that freedom to move affects our mental health because our if we can't move, our nervous system thinks we're trapped. And the alarm bells go off. Could be a really quiet alarm, could be a real loud alarm. But in addition to not wanting to be seen, you've then turned on the alarm system in a way that will certainly make you feel bad.
yeah.
So I guess I would want that child to be able to feel confident and be able to be seen. But if they don't want to be seen, I would want to give them other options like, hey, let's get you a big shirt. Hey, let's
Mm,
let's not disrespect, let's keep your body as healthy as possible
mhm,
and also respect the strategy that you're going for, which is I'm not ready for dating. I don't like it when boys look at me. People think I'm the nerd and I just want to disappear. Like there are lots of other things that go into this strategy. Um, so that I just said a lot. That was a fictional person that I want the best for. How would you speak to them?
well, it made me think about, gosh, wouldn't it be great if that kid's parent had tools well before that
Mhm.
stage of life hit to be really giving the kind of recognition around their child being fully who they are and
Yes,
taking up space
yes,
and
literally.
building that relationship
Yeah. Hmm.
so that already, because I'm picturing this fictional kid already has kind of started to build this shell. And now
Mhm.
we're the parent, maybe the parent coach, trying to think how can we start to break them out of the shell or help them break themselves out of the shell? Wouldn't it be so cool if they never had to build the shell in the first place by having so much inner wealth that or and relationship that they could come to the parent and say, I'm feeling this way about my body. What can we do?
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But that wasn't the scenario that you created. So let me work with that. And I would say I would be looking for evidence of that kid's greatness, what's good
Hmm.
about them, truth, and then saying what it says about them. I'm right in the middle of reading Carol Dweck's Mindset right now. I'm not sure if you've heard of that.
Mm-mm.
She does a lot of work around what kinds of praise will cause children to actually not try as hard. So praise
Mm.
based on if I tell you that you're smart, or if I tell you that you're the prettiest one in the class, or these kinds of praises on qualities that they might think are inborn, we can put them into a um, I think she calls it a limited mindset, not a growth mindset, where
Right.
they're not as willing to try because they might find out I'm not that smart, or they might find out I really don't have so much talent. So it makes kids protective as
Yeah.
opposed to praise that says, gosh, you got such a great grade on that. You must be really proud of how hard you worked. Tell me how you
Right.
studied for it. Um, that sets them up for a growth mindset. Like I have agency. There's something that I can do. It's
Right.
not just
Yeah.
because I'm smart or I'm not. So where I'm going with that is the instead of the parent might have the
Note
urge.
here. So
The
many ideas flowing.
Okay. So the parent might have the urge to say to that 14-year-old, honey, you're so beautiful, and you'll feel more comfortable with your body in time. Trust me, you get used to it. Yeah, I don't think so. I think those are kind of limiting forms of praise or recognition. Instead, how about we look for, hey, I saw how fast you ran to catch that ball that dropped the other day. You're working really hard on your speed or your I don't know, some quality of the person. Like
Right.
I'm spitballing here, but uh I saw you do this thing, and here's what it shows me about your character or the kind of person that you're working to be or the kind of person that you are, as opposed to, oh honey, you're pretty, or oh your body is just perfect the way it's made, you know?
Right. Yeah.
That's true. I believe that, but it's not for that kid whose alarm bells are going off, it's not going to ring true.
Right. So if I were working with an adult on this and they had um, built that shell or developed been doing a behavior for a long time that has resulted in certain neural pathways and maybe even structural change
Mhm,
because of the shell making.
mhm,
I'm kind of putting a question mark on shell because it's a movement. They're doing a movement, right? They're not actually trapped in externalized cartilage or whatever shells are made of. Um, so what if it would there be a way at that age to talk about the protection strategy as agency? Like, this is me spitballing, like, um, babe, I see that you um let's see. I'm wondering, boy, how do I talk about protection as a good strategy?
mm, yeah,
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is there a way to unlock it like close to what they're actually doing
yeah,
rather than having something that they have to aspire to?
right. That's huge. Yeah. Um, you know, we talk a lot too about the concept of baby steps. So if you think about a baby learning to walk, it doesn't really start with the toddling steps. It really kind of starts with tummy time and they're pushing back and they're
Yes. Hmm.
making their muscles strong. And then it starts, the all the progression up to building up all of the strength that it takes to have the balance and then to move and walk. Um, Now I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit on, can you say what you said just before that? Because
Yeah. So I'm wondering about rather than casting protection as something they shouldn't do,
got it.
but to see it as a tool and kind of would
Yes.
there be a way to acknowledge that as one good strategy among many
Yes.
strategies?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Hmm.
Thank you. You got me right back there. So just as the learning to walk starts with a lot of steps back, protecting ourselves, that is actually our brain's prime directive, right? It's our brain's number one job. Keep us safe.
Hmm. Hmm.
Survival. So yes, maybe there could be some, and again, this is where I think it's really important to have the kind of relationship where you can talk and where you can think things through and you can say, I notice that you're holding yourself kind of small. And I'm wondering if you might be trying to protect yourself, and protecting yourself is really important. And there might be some other strategies. I think almost just exactly what you said was really beautiful.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't I think we can tend to think of self-protection maybe in a negative way, but honestly, it's a beautiful thing. It's the most important thing. You
Right.
That's you showing yourself love for yourself, that you're protecting yourself.
Yeah. Mic drop. I think, I think this is the territory where talking to anybody about their posture, about their body, is to not put too fine a point on why you think that's what they're doing, but to create an opening where you could say, I wonder if this is what you're up to,
Yeah,
and I celebrate that, and you
yeah,
have options.
yeah. Well, and I think when you say it like that, I wonder if, or another thing I ask people sometimes is, have you considered?
Mm,
Um, in fact, someone I said that to the other day came back to me the next week and she said, when you said to me, have you considered blah, blah, whatever it was, I was like, well, yes, but also no. So sometimes those kind of open, softened
right,
questions, just asking it as a question, even if the person's initial reaction, and I think we get this with teenagers a lot, no,
right,
but because you didn't say it in a pointed or accusatory or way that implied judgment, they can go away later and think, no, actually, I wonder if I have considered that or if I am doing.
right. Yeah. Yes. Having lived with a teenager, I know and I wish I had learned nurtured heart approach from you at that time in my life, but there was just like, okay, I think I have to say this 10 times. So just keep reinforcing whatever the idea is.
Mhm.
It makes me want to ask about the rules. So I wonder if one of the rules could be that you establish early in a child's life is we respect our bodies, or you know, we
Yeah,
celebrate health, or
yeah,
movement is, motion is lotion, as they say in the physical therapy world, like
yeah,
something that can kind of something that can lay the groundwork for this is one of our rules. Is that the kind of rule that you said, or is it more like 3 hours of screen time?
It can be any of those things, and we can also have rules for ourselves. Like, I have a rule for myself that is no ruminating on problems. So that's my rule. So when I catch myself ruminating on a problem, then my no to giving that energy is to say stop. Like, we're not going to do that. And then I think about what's the positive. Okay, do I think there might be something I can do about this problem? If yes, then I'm going to think it through and see if it's energetically aligned with the rest of my stands. If it is, I'll consider whether I should do that or not. And if it's not, I'm going to drop it. But meanwhile, I'm going to put my focus over here on what I'm appreciating about the situation or about myself in the situation. So I'm going to switch very intentionally and
Right. Yeah.
redirect
Yeah.
where I'm putting my mind's energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, you can absolutely have those kinds of rules. And I'm thinking, okay, so this is not an original idea to me. In fact, I saw a post on it a couple days ago about forcing kids to hug and kiss their grandparents at the holidays or their aunts and uncles or whatever. No, like I think a really important rule for honoring your body is to teach your kids from very early on. It's your body. It's special. You're special. Yeah, okay, I want to be careful about using the word special. We don't want to teach people that they are special,
More special.
more special.
Yeah.
But that it's you have worth, you have a
Yeah.
right, and you have a choice. And we're going to
Hmm.
honor the choice that you're going to make about who you want to hug and kiss and who you don't. And I absolutely think there should be a rule. How many people do you hear say, oh, Marcie, that was so dumb, or oh, that was so stupid of me? That would be a rule that I would say, no, we don't say that. If you wouldn't say it to your best friend, I don't want you to say it about yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
rules like that, I think, can help set the groundwork for having the respect for your person and for your vessel, your body.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Cool. All right. We close up here.
yeah.
Would a person know that they could use your services, could use your support?
If they're feeling like, gosh, I really don't know if this relationship between me and my kids is being really constructive. I don't know if they're trusting me. I'm not sure if I'm trusting them. I'm not sure we're really communicating. Then I think that it would be really worth having a conversation. I can give people tools that help them get in that space of creating. I want to say, I think I want to say safety. I think parents need to be a safe person for their kid to talk to. And that doesn't mean that you don't get to have rules. You absolutely do. You still can. You're not their friend, you're their parent. But yeah, if you're feeling like you're not sure how to really relate with your kid anymore, then we should talk.
Hmm. And what's the age range of kids that you think parents of kids, not the parents' ages, but the
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to
I
say?
do. I totally know. Well, I love, love, love working with parents of teenagers and young adults.
Hmm.
However, this approach works for people, I'm going to say 8 months to senior citizens.
Mhm.
That I'm saying 8 months because I've got twin grandchildren now, and
Yeah.
been, of course, using this approach on them since they were born, but I really started to notice around 8 months receptivity to the
Hmm.
language that I was
Hmm.
using. But even smaller than that, to be honest with you, there was energy around negativity. And I won't go into the story, but even a 5 month old, 4 month old, a little baby picks up negative energy really easily, and they pick up your positive energy. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say any age really. There's really no
Yeah.
limit on the age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I see it in I don't have I haven't raised a child from early age, but I have animals. And it's very clear to me
Mhm.
that um, they are impacted negatively if I accidentally yell.
Yeah,
It doesn't work. It's
yeah,
not helpful. It might save someone from danger in
right.
a like a real crisis moment,
Yeah.
but not good 99.99% of the time.
Yeah, so even whether there's any receptivity to the actual words,
Right.
an infant, a pet can feel our energy. You know, we're energetic beings and we communicate on a whole other level besides our words. So
Right.
the work that I do is really largely around how do I manage how does the parent, how does the adult in the room manage their own energy in order to build relationship, build inner wealth.
That sounds like it really supports them as well. You were talking about the ruminating thing. Like
Yeah,
if you live by the rules that you want your child to live by,
yeah,
those are your values, and that will
yes,
improve your life.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
The should I let the little secret out of the bag? People come because they want help with their kids, and they end up finding so much in it for themselves.
Yeah. I don't know why that's a secret, friend. That sounds like a benefit. That sounds like an added benefit.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
guess we call it the little secret because I think a lot of people are hesitant to do something for themselves, right?
Right. Yes.
But we'll
Yeah.
do things for our kids.
Hmm. For me, the secret is um, you want to change your posture, it's going to be a change in relationship to your whole self. Are you
Ah,
going to look better? Probably, based on how whatever you think that is, but
yeah,
really the path there is for you to be your whole self.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
High
that.
five you. Choo-choo, high
High
five.
five.
All right, friend, is there anything I'm gonna put your information in the notes for people, so we don't need to say that, but is there anything that you would like to share or ask before we get off the call?
Oh gosh. I just want to give you a recognition for your kindness and
Oh, sweet.
we talked a little before we did this recording and your motivation truly is to spare the next generation of kids from what we all and
Mm-hmm.
our parents and grandparents
Yes.
have gone through, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's such an admirable, selfless, generous motivation for you to want to have this conversation. So
You are
I
so
appreciate
kind. There we go, friends. There's Marcie Towle being kind and supportive, and that's what it's going to be like to work with her.
it. And with you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much. I'll see you around the neighborhood.
Yeah. Thanks, Crispin.